Are you learning English vocabulary? Here are the 3,750 English adjectives you should learn first. Hi everyone. I'm Haslam from www.translatein.com. This adverbs vocabulary list has around 2,740 words and it shows definitions for each word. So let's get started. Executive. Executive. A person responsible for the administration of a business. Hokey. Hokey. Effusively or insincerely emotional. Intrinsic. Intrinsic. Belonging to a thing by its very nature. Collegial. Collegial. Having authority vested equally among colleagues. Folksy. Folksy. Very informal and familiar. Phony. Phony. Fraudulent. Having a misleading appearance. Picturesque. Picturesque. Suggesting or suitable for an artistic composition. Panel. Panel. Sheet that forms a distinct section of something. Smear. Smear. Smudge or soil by smudging. Swell. Swell. Increase in size, magnitude, number, or intensity. Drenched. Drenched. Abundantly covered or supplied with. Inaugurate. Inaugurate. Commence officially. Bountiful. Bountiful. Producing in abundance. Roam. Roam. Move about aimlessly or without any destination. Curb. Curb. The act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. Expertise. Expertise. Skillfulness by virtue of possessing special knowledge. Mammoth. Mammoth. Extinct elephant widely distributed in the Pleistocene. Finite. Finite. Bounded in magnitude or spatial or temporal extent. Resonant. Resonant. Produce a deep, clear sound. Sensation. Sensation. An awareness of some type of stimulation. Vegetarian. Vegetarian. Someone who eats no meat or fish. Instance. Instance. An item of information that is typical of a class or group. Synthetic. Synthetic. A compound made artificially by chemical reactions. Casual. Casual. Without or seeming to be without plan or method, offhand. Harsh. Harsh. disagreeable to the senses. Inquire. Inquire. Conduct an investigation of. Inquiring. Inquiring. Given to inquiry. Honorable. Honorable. Deserving of esteem and respect. Adorn. Adorn. Make more attractive, as by adding ornament or color. Adornment. Adornment. Decorating oneself with something colorful and interesting. Squat. Squat. Sit on one's heels. Wrench. Wrench. A sharp strain on muscles or ligaments. Curl. Curl. Form a curl, curve, or kink. Endow. Endow. Give qualities or abilities to. Appall. Appall. Strike with disgust or revulsion. Stationary. Stationary. Paper cut to an appropriate size for writing letters. Bulletin. Bulletin. A brief report or public statement. Texture. Texture. The feel of a surface or a fabric. Diller. Diller. Someone who purchases and maintains an inventory of goods to be sold. Recite. Recite. Repeat aloud from memory. Breeze. Breeze. A slight and usually refreshing wind. Confidence. Confidence. Belief in yourself and your abilities. Simulate. Simulate. Reproduce someone's behavior or looks. Atrium. Atrium. A chamber connected to other chambers or passageways. Withering. Withering. Any weakening or degeneration. Backdrop. Backdrop. Scenery hung at the rear of a stage. Deter. Deter. Turn away from by persuasion. Patchy. Patchy. Irregular or uneven in quality, texture, etc. Crouch. Crouch. The act of bending low with the limbs close to the body. Hail. Hail. Precipitation of ice pellets. Quirky. Quirky. Strikingly unconventional. Subsequent. Subsequent. Following in time or order. Surrender. Surrender. Relinquish possession or control over. Plural. plural. Grammatical number category referring to two or more items. Glide. Glide. Move smoothly and effortlessly. Elude. Elude. Escape, either physically or mentally. Camouflage. Camouflage. An outward semblance misrepresenting the nature of something. Sanction. Sanction. Official permission or approval. Plaster. Plaster. A mixture of lime or gypsum with sand and water. Mediate. Mediate. Act between parties with a view to reconciling differences. Stab. Stab. Poke or thrust abruptly. Meditate. Meditate. Reflect deeply on a subject. Intercept. Intercept. Seize, interrupt, or stop something on its way. Leap. Leap. Move forward by bounds. Bamboozle. Bamboozle. Conceal one's true motives from. Justification. Justification. The act of defending or explaining by reasoning. Terrific. Terrific. Extraordinarily good or great. Segment. Segment. One of several parts that fit with others to make a whole. Finance. Finance. The commercial activity of providing funds and capital. Blaster. Blaster. A workman employed to blast with explosives. Fattening. Fattening. Subject to or used in the process of finishing or fattening up for slaughter. Recuperate. Recuperate. Restore to good health or strength. Flake. Flake. A small fragment of something broken off from the whole. Cornerstone. Cornerstone. The basic or fundamental part on which something depends. Ludicrous. Ludicrous. Inviting ridicule. Tremor. Tremor. An involuntary vibration, as if from illness or fear. Viable. Viable. Capable of life or normal growth and development. Vacate. Vacate. Leave behind empty, move out of. Queue. Queue. A line of people or vehicles waiting for something. Fuss. Fuss. An excited state of agitation. Defending. Defending. Attempting to or designed to prevent an opponent from winning or scoring. Beam. Beam. A long thick piece of material used in construction. Bump. Bump. An impact as from a collision. Sandal. Sandal. A shoe consisting of a sole fastened by straps to the foot. Socialite. Socialite. One who is well known or prominent in fashionable circles. Disposition. Disposition. Your usual mood. Intricate. Intricate. Having many complexly arranged elements. Elaborate. Reclaim. Reclaim. Reassert one's right or title to. Drench. Drench. Cover with liquid. Pour liquid onto. Brisk. Brisk. Quick and energetic. Bulge. Bulge. Swell or protrude outwards. Hunched. Hunched. Having the back and shoulders rounded, not erect. Scrub. Scrub. Wash thoroughly. Commence. Commence. Set in motion, cause to start. Slurp. Slurp. Eat or drink noisily. Belch. Belch. Expel gas from the stomach. Duck. Duck. A landing in a harbor where ships are loaded and unloaded. Overlap. Overlap. Extend over and cover a part of. Buckle. Buckle. Fastener that fastens together two ends of a belt or strap. Affable. Affable. Diffusing warmth and friendliness. Lace. Lace. A cord that is drawn through eyelets or around hooks. Paramedic. Paramedic. A person trained to give emergency medical treatment. Sedate. Sedate. Characterized by dignity and propriety. Integral. Integral. Existing as an essential constituent or characteristic. Tame. Tame. Brought from wildness into a domesticated state. Tranquility. Tranquility. An untroubled state that is free from disturbances. Spick. Spick. Offensive term for persons of Latin American descent. Credentials. Credentials. A document attesting to the truth of certain stated facts. Spectacle. Spectacle. Something or someone seen, especially a notable sight. Disdain. Disdain. Lack of respect accompanied by a feeling of intense dislike. Voyage. Voyage. A journey to some distant place. Doodle. Doodle. An aimless drawing. Craze. Craze. Feed as in a meadow or pasture. Resolution. Resolution. A decision to do something or to behave in a certain manner. Erratic. Erratic. Liable to sudden unpredictable change. Beggar. Beggar. An impoverished person who lives by asking for charity. Cuddly. Cuddly. Inviting cuddling or hugging. Searing. Searing. Extremely hot. Crawl. Crawl. Move slowly. Novice. Novice. Someone new to a field or activity. Veteran. Veteran. A person who has served in the armed forces. Solitude. Solitude. A state of social isolation. Miserly. Miserly. Characterized by or indicative of lack of generosity. Slipshod. Slipshod. Marked by great carelessness. Confide. Confide. Reveal in private. Attire. Attire. Clothing of a distinctive style or for a particular occasion. Subservient. Subservient. Compliant and obedient to authority. Breadth. Breadth. The extent of something from side to side. Innocent. Innocent. Free from sin. Identical. Identical. Being the exact same one. Approximate. Approximate. Not quite exact or correct. Alternatively. Alternatively. In place of, or as an alternative to. Androgynous. Androgynous. Having both male and female characteristics. Potential. Potential. Existing in possibility. Participating. Participating. Taking part in an activity. Opinionated. Opinionated. Obstinate in your opinions. Nostalgic. Nostalgic. Unhappy about being away and longing for familiar things. Sensuous. Sensuous. Providing perceptible pleasure or gratification. prohibited, prohibited, forbidden by law, mutilated, mutilated, having a part of the body crippled or disabled, nautical, nautical, relating to ships or navigation, satisfactory, satisfactory, giving contentment, excusable, excusable, capable of being overlooked, excessive, excessive, beyond normal limits, psychological, psychological, mental or emotional as opposed to physical in nature, manipulative, manipulative, skillful in influencing others to one's own advantage, charismatic, charismatic, possessing an extraordinary ability to attract, designed, designed, done or made or performed with purpose and intent, convincing, convincing, causing one to believe the truth of something, interior, interior, inside and toward a center, intermediate, intermediate, lying between two extremes in time, space, or state, acquainted, acquainted, having fair knowledge of, restricted, restricted, subject to an active limitation, supposed, supposed, required or under orders, empathetic, empathetic, showing ready comprehension of other states, generic, generic, applicable to an entire class or group, insightful, insightful, exhibiting clear and deep perception, original, original, preceding all others in time, commercial, commercial, connected with or engaged in the exchange of goods, brilliant, brilliant, full of light, shining intensely, radiant, radiant, emanating or as if emanating light, subsidiary, subsidiary, functioning in a supporting capacity, complementary, complementary, serving to fill out, enhance, or supply what is lacking, auditory, auditory, of or relating to the process of hearing, alternate, alternate, go back and forth, drunken, drunken, given to or marked by the consumption of alcohol, lacking, lacking, inadequate in amount or degree, tragic, tragic, very sad, especially involving grief or death or destruction, strategic, strategic, relating to an elaborate and systematic plan of action, childish, childish, indicating a lack of maturity, monthly, monthly, of or occurring or payable every month, childlike, childlike, befitting a young child, wholesome, wholesome, characteristic of physical or moral well-being, suburban, suburban, relating to or characteristic of or situated in suburbs, feminine, feminine, associated with women and not with men, evanescent, evanescent, short-lived, tending to vanish or disappear, soluble, soluble, capable of being dissolved in some solvent, surprise, surprise, come upon or take unawares, sick, sick, affected by impairment of normal physical or mental function, regretful, regretful, feeling or expressing sorrow or a sense of loss, thirsty, thirsty, feeling a need or desire to drink, smug, smug, marked by excessive complacency or self-satisfaction, pained, pained, hurt or upset, bad, bad, having undesirable or negative qualities, elegant, elegant, refined and tasteful in appearance, behavior, or style, sparingly, sparingly, to a meager degree or in a meager manner, meager, meager, deficient in amount or quality or extent, lucid, lucid, transparently clear, easily understandable, plagiarize, plagiarize, take without referencing from someone's writing or speech, antisocial, antisocial, shunning contact with others, irksome, irksome, tedious or irritating, exonerate, exonerate, pronounced not guilty of criminal charges, annihilate, annihilate, kill in large numbers, punctilious, punctilious, marked by precise accordance with details, sloppy, sloppy, lacking neatness or order, glistening, glistening, reflecting light, cerebral, cerebral, of or relating to the brain, obtuse, obtuse, of an angle between 90 and 180 degrees, affirmative, affirmative, giving assent, debilitating, debilitating, impairing strength and vitality, lavish, lavish, very generous, misanthropic, misanthropic, aiding mankind in general, fatigue, fatigue, drained of energy or effectiveness, predominant, predominant, having superior power and influence, surefire, surefire, certain to be successful, flagging, flagging, weak from exhaustion, herbivore, herbivore, any animal that feeds chiefly on grass and other plants, omnivore, omnivore, an animal that feeds on both animal and vegetable substances, tyrannical, tyrannical, characteristic of an absolute ruler or absolute rule, abortive, abortive, failing to accomplish an intended result, fetching, fetching, very attractive, capturing interest, aspiring, aspiring, desiring or striving for recognition or advancement, viral, viral, relating to or caused by a virus, personable, personable, pleasant in manner and appearance, outright, outright, without reservation or concealment, exasperated, exasperated, greatly annoyed, out of patience, clandestine, clandestine, conducted with or marked by hidden aims or methods, brash, brash, offensively bold, pushy, pushy, marked by aggressive ambition and energy and initiative, quintessential, quintessential, representing the perfect example of a class or quality, scarcely, scarcely, only a very short time before, iterative, iterative, marked by repetition, proficient, proficient, having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude, snubby, snubby. Valuing high status and superiority to others. Self-righteous, self-righteous. Excessively or hypocritically pious. Rot, rot. Shaped to fit by altering the contours of a pliable mass. Bigoted, bigoted. Blindly and obstinately attached to some creed or opinion. Pious, pious. Having or showing or expressing reverence for a deity. Affectionate, affectionate. Having or displaying warmth or fondness. Squeamish, squeamish. Easily disturbed or disgusted by unpleasant things. Awry, awry. Turned or twisted to one side. Sprawling, sprawling. Spreading out in different directions. Sublime, sublime. Of high moral or intellectual value. Detrimental, detrimental. Causing harm or injury. Inconclusive, inconclusive. Not putting an end to doubt or question. Extant, extant. Still in existence, not extinct or destroyed or lost. Lapsed, lapsed. No longer active or practicing. Uncharted, uncharted. Not yet surveyed or investigated. Approachable, approachable. Easy to reach. Inept, inept. Generally incompetent and ineffectual. Ulterior, ulterior. Lying beyond what is openly revealed or avowed. Pressing, pressing. Requiring immediate action or attention. Airy, airy. Suggestive of the supernatural, mysterious. Contentious, contentious. Showing an inclination to disagree. Cosmetic, cosmetic. Serving an aesthetic rather than a useful purpose. Shady, shady. Sheltered from the sun's rays. Striking, striking. Having a quality that thrusts itself into attention. Perceivable, perceivable. Capable of being perceived especially by sight or hearing. Evident, evident. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Eye-catching, eye-catching. Seizing the attention. Uphill, uphill. Upward on a hill or incline. Cohesive, cohesive, combining will to form a unified whole. Remiss, remiss, failing in what duty requires. Rancorous, rancorous, showing deep-seated resentment. Grouchy, grouchy, annoyed and irritable. Vociferous, vociferous, conspicuously and offensively loud. Suspenseful, suspenseful, characterized by or causing excited anticipation. Visceral, visceral, relating to or affecting the internal organs. Feigned, feigned, not genuine. Riotous, riotous, characterized by unrest or disorder or insubordination. Eye-popping, eye-popping, amazingly impressive. Impassioned, impassioned, characterized by intense emotion. Irreverent, irreverent, showing lack of due respect or veneration. Exalted, exalted, of high moral or intellectual value. Ungross, ungross, devote fully to. Engrossing, engrossing, capable of arousing and holding the attention. Melancholy, melancholy, a constitutional tendency to be gloomy and depressed. Unrelenting, unrelenting, not to be placated or appeased or moved by entreaty. Gullible, gullible, naive and easily deceived or tricked. Consequential, consequential, having important effects or results. Capricious, capricious, determined by chance or impulse rather than by necessity. Prickly, prickly, very irritable. Egregious, egregious, conspicuously and outrageously bad or reprehensible. Obtrusive, obtrusive, sticking out, protruding. Inexplicable, inexplicable, incapable of being explained or accounted for. Opaque, opaque, not transmitting or reflecting light or radiant energy. Profuse, profuse, produced or growing in extreme abundance. Benevolent, benevolent, showing or motivated by sympathy and understanding. Runaway, runaway, someone who flees from an uncongenial situation. surreal, surreal. Characterized by fantastic and incongruous imagery. Illusory, illusory. Having the nature of something unreal or deceptive. Prevalent, prevalent. Most frequent or common. Nefarious, nefarious. Extremely wicked. Afoot, afoot. On foot, walking. Jarring, jarring. Making or causing a harsh and irritating sound. Nonsensical, nonsensical. Having no intelligible meaning. Opalescent, opalescent. Having a play of lustrous rainbow colors. Enchanting, enchanting. Capturing interest as if by a spell. Reprehensible, reprehensible. Bringing or deserving severe rebuke or censure. Advantageous, advantageous. Giving a benefit. Adept, adept. Having or showing knowledge and skill and aptitude. Plethora, plethora. Extreme excess. Avid, avid. Marked by active interest and enthusiasm. Voracious, voracious. Devouring or craving food in great quantities. Deleterious, deleterious. Harmful to living things. Acute, acute. Ending in a sharp point. Impelled, impelled. Urged or forced to action through moral pressure. Cathartic, cathartic. Emotionally purging. Chronic, chronic. Long-lasting or characterized by long suffering. Baffling, baffling. Hard to comprehend, solve, or believe. Imperative, imperative. Requiring attention or action. Homogeneous, homogeneous. All of the same or similar kind or nature. Minute, minute. A unit of time equal to 60 seconds or 1/60th th of an hour. Colossal, colossal. So great in size or force or extent as to elicit awe. Belated, belated. After the expected or usual time. Tardy, tardy. After the expected or usual time. Ajar, ajar. Slightly open. Genteel, genteel. Marked by refinement in taste and manners. dingy, dingy, thickly covered with ingrained dirt or soot, meager, meager, deficient in amount or quality or extent, insolent, insolent, marked by casual disrespect, insolvent, insolvent, unable to meet or discharge financial obligations, solvent, solvent, capable of meeting financial obligations, salubrious, salubrious, promoting health, insalubrious, insalubrious, detrimental to health, cogent, cogent, powerfully persuasive, vocational, vocational, of or relating to an occupation, populous, populous, densely filled with inhabitants, well off, well off, fortunately situated, stuck up, stuck up, used colloquially, overly conceited or arrogant, cozy, cozy, enjoying or affording comforting warmth and shelter especially in a small space, acrophobia, acrophobia, a morbid fear of great heights, harrowing, harrowing, causing extreme distress, planetary, planetary, of or relating to a celestial body that orbits around a star, belligerent, belligerent, characteristic of an enemy or one eager to fight, feline, feline, of or relating to cats, illiterate, illiterate, not able to read or write, domesticated, domesticated, converted or adapted to use in the home, sterling, sterling, highest in quality, innermost, innermost, situated or occurring farthest within, hellish, hellish, extremely evil or cruel, frivolously, frivolously, in a frivolous manner, hospitable, hospitable, disposed to treat guests and strangers with generosity, abate, abate, become less in amount or intensity, preposterous, preposterous, inviting ridicule, drawl, drawl, a slow speech pattern with prolonged vowels, vogue, vogue, a current state of general acceptance and use. Bourgeois. Bourgeois. Being of the property-owning class. Chagrined. Chagrined. Feeling or cause to feel uneasy and self-conscious. Amiss. Amiss. In an improper or mistaken manner. Rambling. Rambling. Spreading out in different directions. Repentant. Repentant. Feeling or expressing remorse for misdeeds. Smitten. Smitten. Affected by something overwhelming. Paltry. Paltry. Contemptibly small in amount or size. Distal. Distal. Situated farthest from point of attachment or origin, as of a limb or bone. Focal. Focal. Of or relating to focus. Azure. Azure. Of a deep somewhat purplish blue color. Intrepid. Intrepid. Invulnerable to fear or intimidation. Demure. Demure. Shy or modest, often in a playful or provocative way. Abiding. Abiding. Unceasing. Dexterous. Dexterous. Skillful in physical movements, especially of the hands. Contingency. Contingency. The state of being dependent on something. Prim. Prim. Affectedly dainty or refined. Proverbial. Proverbial. Widely known and spoken of. Exultant. Exultant. Joyful and proud, especially because of triumph or success. Impregnable. Impregnable. Incapable of being attacked or tampered with. Ebullient. Ebullient. Joyously unrestrained. Astute. Astute. Marked by practical hard-headed intelligence. Mellow. Mellow. Having a full and pleasing flavor through proper aging. Sallow. Sallow. Unhealthy looking. Artless. Artless. Simple and natural, without cunning or deceit. Denies. Denies. Remove ions from. Savvy. Savvy. Marked by practical hard-headed intelligence. Precocious. Precocious. Characterized by exceptionally early development. Teeming. Teeming. abundantly filled with especially living things. Tempestuous. Tempestuous. Characterized by violent emotions or behavior. Askew. Askew. Turned or twisted to one side. Proxy. Proxy. A person authorized to act for another. Stoic. Stoic. Seeming unaffected by pleasure or pain, impassive. Skulk. Skulk. Lie in wait or behave in a sneaky and secretive manner. Forlorn. Forlorn. Marked by or showing hopelessness. Thwart. Thwart. Hinder or prevent, as an effort, plan, or desire. Slapstick. Slapstick. A type of comedy characterized by pranks and physical humor. Notional. Notional. Being of the nature of a notion or concept. Thank you for watching. Here are a couple of videos that I suggest you watch next. Before you move on to next video, if you find this video helpful, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Just click the link in the description below and enable all notifications. You'll be notified whenever I upload my next video. Thank you so much. See you soon.